Hello and welcome to the February 20th edition of Saints Talk. Last time around we had Lauren McCullough, the women's cross country team, across from us in the chair. Today we have Tabitha Odabe of the women's basketball program. Tabitha, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now you have been, as we were just discussing a little bit off camera, you've been in the States now for 5 years.
5 years.
And originally from Nigeria.
Yes, sir.
So what's that transition been like coming, moving across the pond, as they call it, to the stateside?
It was interesting. It was a culture shock. Well, I still experience culture shock here. It was challenging, but I was really thankful, and I had the opportunity to be set up with people right from coming from the Rock, because I did a year in high school and then going to Santa Fe and then coming here. I've just been blessed with people that helped me through the transition, so it wasn't as challenging as it would have been if I just without having those people. So it's been interesting.
Wonderful. So you ended up, when you first came here, going or in Keystone Heights, Florida, where you went to high school, and was that your first time ever playing basketball, or had you played back home?
So I started learning back home, but it was different. I would just go dribble the ball back home, but I had never played an actual game till I came here like February 2014, I think. So I played my first game in February in high school, and the season was about to be over, so I played like one game 11th grade year. So I didn't really play group organized basketball until my 12th grade year in high school. So,
was basketball always something that you knew you wanted to play at an organized level, at a higher level, high school to the next step, college, or is it something that just kind of fell into your lap a little bit?
It was a little bit of both. So it fell into my lap, and then I realized that I wanted to go further, because back home I didn't really know anything about basketball. So I remember one day walking from school, and this lady was like, "You need to do something with your height," and she stopped me, and she was so passionate. She told me, it was like, well, she was really, it was so, she was like, "If you don't play basketball or be a model, God is going to be mad at you." And I was like, she literally said God was going to be mad at me, and I was like, and then I went home and I was on Facebook, and I remember seeing my friend, he had a picture on the basketball court, and I was like, and the whole time I was just thinking, I don't want God to be mad at me. But she was so passionate about how she was like, "You have to," and I was like, "Do you play basketball?" He was like, "Yeah, do you want to?" And I was like, "I really don't know anything about it," and then he was like, "Okay, where do you live?" And the next day he brought me a basketball, and then the next evening my mom bought me basketball shoes, and then I would go to the court and just dribble the ball. So I didn't really think much about it. I had done that for like a year, and on and off, and I was going to stop because I was trying to focus on getting to university, because I was about to go into my 12th grade year. And this coach, he was like, "Do you want to go to America?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then he was like, "You could play basketball in America." And I was like, "And go to school?" He was like, "Yeah, you could do both." And I was like, "Well, yeah, if I could do both, because I'm not going to stop school because of basketball." And then he was like, "If you could do both." So he starts searching online, and he finds a scout in Serbia, and the scout in Serbia finds my high school coach in Florida, and I was asked to make a video. And I remember standing there, and I was like, because we didn't know how to edit the video, so I stood there for like 30 minutes. I had to make 5 free throws straight. It was so hot outside, but it was fun making the video.
Great.
And I always talk about how I got a scholarship with a right layup, left layup, and 5 free throws. But it was a whole like God thing, how it just like boom, boom, boom happened. So yeah.
Well, we can say with certainty that God is certainly not mad at you, because the numbers that you put up on the basketball court is absolutely astonishing. I mean, first of all, the one season you had at the Rock School in Gainesville, you averaged 8 points per game, 7.9 rebounds a game, and 2.3 blocks per game. Now that was your first year of in-states organized basketball. Those numbers are pretty great to put up. At that point, did you realize that, this is something that I can not only be good at, but dominate at the next level too?
Yeah. After high school, I was like, yeah, I could see myself going further, but then I had come to a point where I was little to myself, because I was like, well, how am I going to play college ball? All these girls have been playing basketball since they were 10. I'm like 18, but then I realized that for one thing, I have the height advantage and I have the heart, so I didn't let that discourage me. So I just like, okay, well, whatever school I go to, I'm just gonna because my goal was to go to a junior college where I would like develop my skills, and like whatever school I go to, I was just gonna put in work and just go further. So I didn't let that bring me down. But I did have a I should have started earlier moment, but I'm like, we already started, so let's just keep going. So yeah.
Very cool. Well, I'll tell you what, heart's as much important as pure talent.
Yes, sir.
You can have pure talent and be great, you can have pure heart and great without the other one, but when you have both of them, it's a dangerous combination. Now, after that, you went to Santa Fe College, also in Gainesville, where you earned Mid-Florida Conference Scholar Athlete of the Week once and a spot in the All-Academic team. Sophomore, you played 30 games, 28 starts, averaged 9.4 points. We're going to boast on you a little bit here. Team best 11.4 rebounds a game, scored a season high 22 points against Daytona State, grabbed a season high 19 rebounds against Daytona State, I believe on a later date. Blocked the season high 12 shots versus Central Florida. You were FCSAA, all Mid-Florida Conference first team selection. So that was all even before coming to Flagler. You were already starting to open some eyes up. Now my question to you is, what opened your eyes up to Flagler? Because it's a smaller school. You think about college basketball, you think about the Dukes and women's side. You think about UConn, you think about Tennessee and things like that at the D1 level. And being from Nigeria, you probably certainly have never heard of Flagler. So what introduced you to Coach E, Erica Blank Montgomery, for the folks at home, and Flagler College women's basketball? What got you introduced to that?
I remember after the game, I went into my locker. I think we had won that game, and I looked, and it was this fancy envelope, and it said Flagler. I was like, oh yeah. It was just so nice and pretty, and I was like, oh, that's not why I came here. But
nice envelope, so I'll keep that in mind.
Nice fancy folder and the handwritten notes, and I was like, oh, this is nice. And then my teammate Bree, Bianca Roberts, she I played 1 year with her. She came here, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll go to Flagler. I'll go look, and I started looking at it, and I was like, oh, pretty campus. And then I came here, and I remember I went for a visit, and so I have an American family here, my guardians, and then my family back home. And throughout the recruiting process, most coaches that talked to me wanted to talk to my family here, which was a good thing. But Coach Erica was the only one that really wanted to talk to my mom back home. And throughout the visit, she was like, call your mom, let's talk to your mom. And I was like, my mom? She was like, yeah, talk to your mom. And it was really like, I don't know, it just really stood out. Because, I mean, my family here, I love them. And my mom back home, she doesn't. Whenever I show her what I do, she's like, I don't know what you're doing, but good job. And she was like, I saw they put you on here, good job. I don't know what this means, but she could not understand a basketball game. And so I could see why. But it was just really nice how I remember on the beach and she kept, call your mom. And I was like, she really wants to talk to my mom back home too. So it just felt, it was just more like a family place. And I mean, look at this place, it's so pretty. And then like my teammate I was gonna play with her a year, and the girls that are already here, everything just, when I came on my visit, like I didn't want to go, like it was just fun. It was just felt like home. And then I remember going to Skeeter's office, and he already had my schedule to like graduate, and I was like, oh, these people are prepared. Like he had set up my classes from like, take this classes, everything was just. And then the coaches too, I knew that if I came here, like if I worked hard, like we could do great things and like just be a great time. So it wasn't a hard decision coming here.
That's great. Yeah, that's always good to hear. And so it wasn't a hard decision coming here, and well, we've enjoyed every second of it on and off the court. But if you want to talk about things on the court, you are a senior this year.
Yes, sir.
Junior year, you averaged 10.1 a game. 12.2 rebounds a game. You broke the school's single-season record with 105 block shots in the season. Had a team high 13 double-doubles. You also recorded the first Flagler triple-double, 20 points, 15 boards, and 12 blocks at Young Harris. You ranked second in the country in block shots at 404 per game, fourth in rebounds per game, 12.2. And also in defensive rebounds per game at 9, and sixth for rebounds a game, broke the school record for rebounds in the game in 23 at North Georgia. You were selected once as PBC's Player of the Week, and you were also the conference's Defensive Player of the Year. And equally as important, because everyone here is a student athlete, you were a PBC Presidential Honor Roll Presidential Scholar. let's talk about that a little bit because academics and athletics is not always easy to balance. How's that been like? What are you studying here?
I'm studying psychology and sociology, so
even tougher.
Yeah,
Psychology and sociology.
Yeah,
there you
double
go.
Major in
Wow, double major. Yeah. So what's it been like balancing the two?
I don't know if it's because when I started playing basketball, I was already a student, so I was never just like it was when I started playing basketball in high school, I was already doing that with sports, so there was that getting used to. And then when you have like coaches, well, first of all, if you don't do good in class, you can't play. So it's like just knowing that is motivation enough to, well, I really want to play basketball, and I want to. Then again, I really want to do good in class, but just knowing that that's not just about me, it's about your teammates too. It's like when you're studying for that test, you're starting to get that degree and you're starting to pass the exam and be successful in life, but at that moment you're starting to also, if you don't pass, you can't play and you're going to let your teammates down. So it's not only you, it's other people. And so I feel like that just makes that will, that inner motivation, so it just like comes with it. So you just push through, and then when we're on the roads, we have study hall, and our professors are really lenient with us. Like if we miss a class, get notes from someone, they'll help us. If you miss a test, you can make it up. So having the professors being accommodating, having your coaches pushing you and your teammates, like that really helps, and you find that balance. So.
Great, and on the basketball court, things have been, not just for you, but for the entire program, on an upswing. Last year, the team made the Peach Belt Conference Tournament. Fortunately, an early exit, but it's something that you can learn from. So with such a great year last year, and this year is turning into very much the same thing, what can you take from the experience last year, say, hey, this is what we need to do to go further in the Peach Belt Conference Tournament, and then make the NCAA tournament?
I know last year, whenever we were walking up, people were like, congrats, you had a great year. I'm like, I mean, we did, but we knew that we underachieved. We knew that we could have done better. We knew that we had the pieces, but we just didn't put it together. And we take that from last year. We're like, okay, this year we have the pieces again, and we don't want to just go to the tournament and just that be it. We know we can go further. So having that last year's experience, that pushes us. That I remember like during the summer, when the season ended, we had like scores from games that they're really big games that we should have won, that made us that might have like disqualified us, and we had in the locker room, and you just walk in and you see that number, you see that 56, 57, or that like that one game you should have won, and that just throws you, and then you just, okay, well, this year we have to, we know we don't just want a good year, like we want a great year. So yeah, that we know we can do better.
So it's obviously you want to play at home in postseason play, which you got to do last year, and right now the team is sitting in a good position to be able to host again. For obvious reasons you want to play at home, but really what makes it so special to be able to play a postseason game at home? The fans, the comfort of knowing your surroundings. What does it mean to the team?
Well, I remember last year when I walked out and I was like, oh my gosh, like there was no space. I was really, we had made videos, told people to come out, expecting people to come out, but I wasn't expecting people to come out like that. And I was like, that was really like, first you want to win, and then people around you cheering and supporting you, so you're playing for so much bigger and all the love. So yeah, I know that like means a lot to me and my teammates. So, and the support we get is crazy. So yeah, that feeling of being at home is just,
yeah, it was an incredible atmosphere last year for that game, and like I said, you guys are in a good position to host again, and if you should do so, very much looking forward to what the fans can bring out to Flagler Gymnasium, because that was something pretty special.
Yeah, it was pretty great. I was like, whoa, I'm not expecting. Like, we made videos, we were like, come support, and I was like, yeah, right. And then I came out and I was like, they really came to support.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
It was great.
That's fantastic. Now, looking towards the future, obviously not everyone knows what they want to do post-school. Some people are 50 years old and they still don't know what they want to do. But do you have an idea of what's next for you?
I want to go to grad school, but I want to like take a year off and then like go back to grad school, but that's about it.
All right, well, hey, nothing wrong with that. That's great, grad school on the horizon, and absolutely, taking the year off would be, I think, well-deserved. Well-deserved after the incredible career you've turned in 2 seasons here and your 2 seasons in Santa Fe, and your transition from different countries too is an impressive feat in itself. So Tabitha, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
We're very happy to be able to talk to you.
Thank you.
We're very excited to see what this women's basketball team does coming up here. We have 2 games left. One this Wednesday, and then
home games
next
September.
Saturday, the March 2nd, which is Senior Day.
Senior game.
So that will be a special one for you for sure. And we look forward to it. We look forward to the conference play. And we're looking forward to potentially hosting a conference tournament game here at Flagler.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.